Preparing the sales journal. In this lesson you will learn how to transfer information from the sales invoice to the sales journal. What is a sales journal? The sales journal, also known as sales book and sales day book, is a diary or a journal that is used to record all items sold on credit. The sales journal is a book of original entry. This means that this is the very first book in which credit sales are recorded. Information for the sales journal comes from the source document, the sales invoice. To complete the sales journal or the sales day book, we need to extract the information from the sales invoice. Let's recap the accounting cycle. You will remember that you first collect information from your source documents. This could be an invoice, a cash receipt, a check counterfoil, a petty cash voucher, etc. From the source document, the information is entered into any one of the 7 books of original entry. After we complete the books of original entry, we transfer the information to the relevant ledgers, then we balance off and extract our trial balances and do adjusting entries. Next we complete our set of final accounts, which consist of our income statement and statement of financial position. Then the cycle continues. So since the sales day book is one of the books of original entry, that records all sales on credit, we need to get the information of all those individuals who we sold goods to on credit. This information would be found in the sales invoices. Take note. We only record credit sales in the sales journal. If we sell item by cash or by check, we will use another book of original entry called the cash book. This is very important to remember. Pay close attention to see how the sales journal is completed, step by step. We first examine the sales invoices. We need to know the date the item was sold, who the item was sold to, and the amount of money the item was sold for. We also need to take note of the invoice number so we can trace back to the sale later on, if we realize a mistake was made. We have 4 invoices here. Let us look at them individually. The first one. Our company is AAA Hardware. We are selling goods on credit to A Grant on June 1, 2022. Note the invoice number 0056. We sold 3 bags of 15-weight sandpaper. The unit cost for 1 sandpaper is $100, so the total cost is $300. We also sold 5 sheets of black tape for $60 each, totaling $300. The total cost for those 2 items is $600. There is a 25% trade discount on the invoice, so we find 25% of $600, which gives us $150. Since a discount is a deduction from the price of an item, we subtract the $150 from the $600. This leaves $450. A Grant will therefore pay a bill of $450. We will look quickly at the other 3 invoices, then move on to transfer the information from the invoice to the sales journal. On the second invoice, we are selling goods to M. Allister on June 4, 2022. The invoice number is 0057. This time we are selling 5 bags concrete cement at $1,500 each, totaling $7,500. Also 15 sheets 14 feet zinc at $1,000 each, totaling $15,000. The total on the invoice is $22,500. We allow M. Allister a 20% discount. 20% of $22,500 is $4,500. We subtract the $4,500 from the $22,500. This leaves $18,000. Allister will pay a bill of $18,000. For the third invoice, we are selling goods to C. Blake on June 7, 2022. The invoice number is 0058. We are selling 15 sheets of 14 feet zinc at $1,000 each, totaling $15,000. The amount that C. Blake will pay is therefore $15,000. For the fourth and final invoice, we are selling goods to R. Thomas on June 20, 2022. The invoice number is 0059. We are selling 15 bags of high-pro feed at $3,500 each, totaling $52,500. We are also selling 15 bags 1535-15 fertilizer at $10,500 each, totaling $157,500. The total on the bill is $210,000. We allow Thomas a discount of 33 1/3%. This works out to $69,930. Taking $69,930 from $210,000 leaves $140,070. Thomas will therefore pay a bill of $140,070. It is time now to transfer the information from the invoice to the sales journal. The sales journal must have a heading. It can be called the sales journal or the sales daybook. The page the information will be recorded on must have a page number, for cross-referencing purposes. Remember, mistakes can be made in recording figures, so we need to be able to go back and double-check the original sources of information. The headings on the sales journal are Date, Details, Invoice Number, Folio Number, a debit and a credit column. In the Date column, we record the year and date the transaction took place. Under the Details column, we record the name of the individual the item was sold to. The specific details about the item can be found on the sales invoice. The invoice number links the sale to the particular invoice if there becomes a need to double-check some information. The folio number is used to show on what page in the ledgers this particular transaction can be found. And as was mentioned earlier, this is for cross-referencing purpose. Pay keen attention here. There is a debit column and a credit column. Because we are selling goods, the items are going out. We have a little gem in accounts where we say, when items are coming into an account, we debit. When items are going out of an account, we credit. Sales therefore would carry a credit balance because the goods are going out of the account. Remember, we do not write in the debit column once we are preparing the sales journal. Let's transfer the information from the first invoice. The date is June 1, 2022. So we input that on the sales journal. Usually, we only write the year once exactly under the date column, then put each date in a separate row. Note where the June 1st is. Beside June 1st, under Details, we write A grant. This is who we sold the goods to. Next we record the invoice number. All of this information is in the same row. The invoice number is 0056. Next we record the folio number or the page in the sales ledger where we will see the personal account of A grant. SL01, which stands for Sales Ledger, page 1. Then we have the amount on the invoice. $450. There. We have successfully transferred information from the sales invoice to the sales daybook. Let's transfer the information from the second invoice. Under Date, we record June 4th. Under Details we have the name of the customer who we sold the goods to on credit. M. Allister. Next we record the invoice number, 0057. You can create your own folio number if a question you are doing does not provide you with one. The folio for this transaction is SL02. The amount is $18,000. Let us see how much you have learned so far. Pause the video, copy the sales journal and copy the information from invoice number 3 projected on the screen. What is the date? If you have June 7th, that's correct. What do you have under Details? If you have C. Blake, that's correct. What is the invoice number? 0058 is correct. What about the folio? On what page in the sales ledger will you find this information? Page 3 is correct. So your folio is SL03. What is the amount that Blake has to pay? $15,000 is correct. Awesome job. Go ahead and complete the final transfer. The invoice is projected. Okay, so the date is June 20th. Under Detail we have the customer, R. Thomas. Under Invoice Number we have 0059. The folio is SL04 and under Amount we have $140,070. We now need to know the total amount of goods that was sold on credit for the month. So what do? We add. Great. So let's add. $450 plus $18,000 plus $15,000 plus $140,070 equals $173,520. This amount will be transferred to our general ledger on the final date in the month. Again, the folio number is dependent on the question. Otherwise, you create your own folio. Just be consistent with the page numbers. So we have learned how to transfer information from the sales invoice to the sales journal. We learned that only items sold on credit, meaning they will be paid for at a later date, are entered in the sales journal. We were reminded of the accounting cycle and the importance of folio numbers. See you next time when we learn how to transfer from the sales journal to the sales ledger and general ledger. For further information, visit Sheila Robinson and Frank Wood 2007. Principles of Accounts for the Caribbean. 5th edition. Pearson Education Limited.